We're going to get started. I've got way we've structured this is we want to provide information to a more diverse group of people. So we're breaking up the event into 3 parts. Part one is how can we support our community and what can we do? So that's why we bring in these nonprofits, and we're talking about what their needs, what their purpose is, and what they do to help give an opportunity for us to give back to our community. And the next part, which we're going to try to continue to work through this, is to give really practical, easy starting steps to be able to make more money and to create more wealth, because it's very hard to give when you don't have anything to give. We talked about that at multiple meetings here at the Junto Club. So that's what we're about. We're trying to learn how to make more money, and then also how can we give back to our community and put that money that we're making to work. So tonight we're going to talk about how we can use real estate to make more money. And so I've got a presentation put together. We're going to run this to break. We'll have a break for 10 minutes at 7:20. And then right at 7:30, we're going to get started with our Zoom presenter who's going to be talking about the EQRP. If we have troubles with getting that set up, we do have a backup plan to that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Feel free to grab food, grab drinks. We got drinks over there. It's an open bar. We cover the tab for that, and then food's on this side. Please feel free to get up and go, do whatever you need to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to buy a home in 30 days to start making passive income. I think that as far as getting started and making serious money, the very, very easiest thing you can do is buy real estate. So again, like I was alluding to earlier, we're talking about how we can help nonprofits. We're talking about how we can make more money on a very easy, quick scale, and then we're going to have more of the meat and potato, some of the bigger picture stuff that's a little bit more advanced. So this is kind of an easy place to get started. If you are honestly, even if you're under 18 years old, you can start working your way towards buying real estate. All you need, even if you're 16 years old, you can start by getting a cosigner and putting cash towards your down payment. There are no rules against you buying a house at 16. Many people don't understand that, didn't believe that, but all it takes is a cosigner to be able to do that. So I want to walk through some of the reasons why I think that real estate is an amazing place to start, and how easy it is to get in. So the Spokane Valley home values have gone up 18.3% over the past year. That is the last 12 months. Post Falls home values have gone up 17.2% over the past year, and Hayden homes, the homes in the Hayden area have gone up 19.4% over the last 12 months. I was having a hard time getting the Coeur d'Alene values, but I did get a copy of that. And I believe that it was at 20. I believe that Spokane Valley was Coeur d'Alene was 24%, an increase in value. And I'm going to walk you through. I'll walk you through the numbers on what this could look like in real life, so that you have a better understanding. Did you know you can buy a house with zero down? It's totally possible. To buy a house, it does not require having cash. You do not have to have cash. A lot of people think that you've got to have all the money. I've bought a ton of houses. Between buying houses and building new construction, I've done about 110 properties. And I didn't use my money to do all of them. And I'm going to walk you through some of the more entry-level, easy, quick ways to do it. And we're going to continue as we go through these events. We'll talk about some more of the advanced ways to do it as well. But it does not require cash to be able to buy a house. And I'm going to walk through some of the easy ways. One of them is there are currently 2 types of government-sponsored loans that will allow you to buy a house without a down payment. That's the USDA loans and a VA loan. If you have served as, either if you've served in the Army, you've served in the Navy, you've served in the Marines, if you've served in any part of the military, you have access on your first home, a zero down loan. You also have the ability on a USDA. Is there anybody served in the military here? Awesome. Thank you guys for your service. Let's give them a hand. And I think that this program is amazing for our vets. I think that this is something that's really cool. Another alternative is a down payment assistant program. It's a DPA. If you want to purchase a property, there are certain criteria that you may have access to a down payment assistant program that will actually give you the funds to be able to purchase the house. Typically, they go in line with a FHA loan. So an FHA loan is going to require 3.5% down, and this down payment assistance program will actually fund that 3.5% for you, which will allow you to get into the property with zero down. It requires for an FHA loan, it typically requires a 580 credit score to go FHA. Now, if you go conventional or you go VA, the credit limits are higher. I believe, my understanding is that the FHA has the lowest credit score, basically eligibility. But as I was doing some research, I found that you may be able to get a loan with a credit score as low as 500 if you can bring in a down payment of 10% to closing. I don't know if anybody had seen that. To be honest, it was the first time I had seen that. If it's below 500, then there's going to be some requirements to either establish a credit or put together what they call manual underwriting. So typically, somebody that's 18 that hasn't had a rent or doesn't have a cell phone, doesn't have car loan, doesn't have a home loan, doesn't have any of those loans, they may require a manual underwriting to be able to put that deal together. So you may have a zero credit score or a non-existing credit score, which can cause a problem. But don't worry, you can get funding even with a zero credit score or a no credit score. But if you have a credit score of 500 or less, this is another option, a 10% down, which is really cool. And the other thing about the down payments is that down payments can come from family. So if your grandma, your grandpa, your dad, your mom, if any of those guys want to help you get into your first deal, they can provide you with the down payment for your first purchase, or second, third, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're able to use those funds if it comes directly from your family. So just consider that as you're looking at these other options. I bet most people here thought that conventional loans was 5% as a minimum down. 5% is not required. It's better, obviously, but you can get into a conventional deal with as little as 3% down. And if you hop on the internet and you just Google, zero down, low down payment options, Google will provide you with all kinds of different solutions to help you get that put together. If you want to get better rates, obviously going with conventional is going to be your best option. If you go with conventional and you go 5% down, typically the rates are going to be better than a VA, better than an FHA, and better than any substandard or subprime mortgage options. I'm not a mortgage professional, so please forgive me if I say anything that doesn't. If someone's a mortgage professional and they hear something I say that's not correct, forgive me there. But these are the rules that I am aware of and that I know. Please feel free to contact a lender and get more details. So one of the things that I think is really important is get the money to get these purchases done by reallocating your assets. Does anybody know what that means? Anybody know? reallocating your? I spelled it wrong. Sorry. Yep. Yep. So first thing is sell some stuff. So when we're trying to fund something, and I'm speaking from personal experience, and you can talk to my wife. She will tell you, I have sold everything to be able to make a deal happen. And it doesn't. I mean, all the way down to close. It's been anything and everything. So I'm going to walk through some options for you guys on how you can pull funds together. So sell your clothes. Another one is sell your shoes. A lot of you ladies got some really expensive shoes. Now keep one nice one, but the rest of them can go. I've one of the girls in one of my groups that we used to hang out with, she had, I think, 40 sets of shoes, and these shoes were outrageous, like $300, $400 pairs of shoes. I mean, she had thousands, tens of thousands of dollars worth of shoes. Reallocate those assets. You know, those shoes are an asset, right? Those shirts are an asset. Those pants are an asset. All of those things are assets, and you can liquidate those assets, right? And be able to turn those funds into cash and be able to use them to actually purchase something that's going to create, you know, income for you, passive income for you. So shoes are an option. Sell your furniture. Nadia can attest. We have sold everything to the point where we literally slept on the floor. We ate standing in the kitchen. We didn't sit in the living room. We just the only place we could actually sit was either on the floor or in the car. Another option: sell your car. I sold my vehicles to be able to buy a company. So all of these things, every one of these suggestions is something that I've personally done. Sell your jewelry. You can sell your jewelry to be able to create more money. So the next part we're going to do is we're going to do a little group exercise. I want you guys to talk at your table about what are some things that you guys can do with your personal finances to be able to create. What can you do to reallocate your assets? What could you liquidate to be able to pull some money together? We're going to spend 5 minutes on that. So, and if you don't have enough people at your table, feel free to join another table. Nobody bites. All right, guys. I hope that was interesting. Does anybody want to talk about what someone said at your table or something that you suggested? Something that we didn't cover? 401k. Okay, that's a way.
One thing a lot of guys probably don't want to do is probably our shoes. Sell your guns.
Sell your guns. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of money tied up in guns. That's for sure. Yeah. Okay, so entertainment. You could sell your TV, VCR, hot tub, anything. Yep. I know. I'd like that hot tub. He's got a sweet hot tub. Any other ideas that popped in? Motorcycles. Yep. Motorcycle. What was it? Baby stuff. Oh. Absolutely. And it's amazing. I've had a motorcycle, sold it. I've had lots of kids. We got 3 kids. That's not a lot compared to Nathan, but Nathan's got 8 kids, so he's got me beat by a little bit. But yeah, we've sold everything. I mean, we've sold kids' clothes. We've sold all kinds of things. Any other things? Cryptocurrency. Yep, you could liquidate some cryptocurrency and yeah, awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys have some ideas on how you can reallocate your assets to be able to make purchases. The idea is to move non-producing assets into producing assets. Okay? Go ahead. Okay. The appreciation. No, so you also have depreciation. So depreciation will offset your income. You can write off the depreciation over a 27 and a half year schedule. So every year you're taking 1/27th of it and depreciating it every single year. That is what you use to offset your income. People are all like, "Oh, how did Donald Trump not pay any taxes?" Because he used the tax code. He used the tax code. He used the depreciation to offset his income, which ended up wiping out his taxable income. So depreciation is the investor's best friend. Amortization, depreciation are huge in being able to create more wealth because you're able to defer that tax for 27 and a half years, or basically as long as you hold that property. As long as you hold that property, you're able to defer that tax. And then if you decide you want to sell that property, you can then move that tax relief to the next property by doing a 1031 exchange. So it's a pretty amazing way to do it.
The other thing I would add, if I could, is in addition to getting that, into doing something like that, because I feel like I'm hanging myself out. There's some of these renters you see,
Yeah. So just so that everybody can hear the question was, if you purchase a piece of real estate and you set up a renter and they're staying in that property and you're not technically cash flowing, does it still make sense to go ahead and make that purchase? And my argument is yes. And in part with Dave Lucas's add on that is, even if the property doesn't make you any money, okay, your mortgage, after you pay your mortgage, after you pay your taxes, after you pay all of your holding expenses, you make $0. Are you actually making any progress? And the answer is yes, you are making progress. You are actually paying off the loan you currently have in place, which even if the market isn't appreciating, you are paying that asset off. Someone else is putting money in, paying off that property for you. The other piece of it, go ahead.
There's another benefit to that. So that when you have renters, taking tiny bits and pieces all together, they benefit a lot.
Yeah. So that's another piece. If you're actually, so now if you had a net zero and didn't make any actual cash, then you don't have to worry about paying taxes at all. But if you were cash flowing and you're making money on that property, that income is treated as passive income and not as active income, so you're getting a lower tax rate.
I have a question.
Yes.
To get qualified for a second mortgage, do you need to initially include that income and you qualify for the house?
So I'm not a mortgage broker. The question was, if I want to purchase another property and use a second mortgage, how do I offset the first payment? So I have a mortgage payment of $1,500 a month, and I want to buy a second property, and my second property is going to be $1,500 a month. How do I offset that mortgage payment to meet the debt to income ratios? And again, I'm not a lender, so I tread lightly on this. My understanding is that they can use the rental contract that you have on your property to offset that part of that or all of that debt. So if you have a rent payment, and let's say your rent payment's $3,000 a month, obviously that covers your mortgage, right, of $1,500 a month, plus you've got $1,500 worth of passive income coming in on that property. You can calculate that into your debt to income ratio to qualify for your next loan. So yes, and we got a banker here. So yeah. Okay. So the lender that Calvin worked with gave him 70% of the rental income. So if they got 3,000, do the math, 70% of that, and that's what they were able to offset on their deal. So I think that even if your cash flow is zero, Although most bankers aren't going to be super excited about getting, cash flow zero deals, it can still be a really good deal because you have the depreciation, you have a tenant paying off your mortgage, and you have the appreciation of the real estate. So the property, if the property's going up in value, you're getting that, even though it's not cash flow to you. You're getting that. Yeah, and then the same thing, if your mortgage is getting paid off, even though that money's not coming to you, it is affecting the value of that asset, and you're increasing your net worth. So every single month that you receive a tax payment, you're increasing your net worth. So I'm going to blaze through this part here, but I wanted to give you some practical examples. And this is a really small scale stuff. The required down payment for a home purchase, if you're going VA, zero down, takes zero cash. If you're USDA, you can get a zero down loan for that as well. If you're going FHA, you can get in with a 3.5% down, which is $7,000. And if you go conventional, based on a $200,000 purchase, it'd be $10,000. And I'm going to show you some math on the backside of this. Remember, we talked about the home values. The value after 1 year in Spokane Valley, if we used the last 12 months, Spokane Valley went up 18.3%. So if you bought it for $200,000 1 year ago, it would be currently worth $236,600. If you bought in Post Falls, and because of the market over there, or in this area, it's gone up 17.2%. So that $200,000 property would be on average worth $234,400. In Hayden went up 19.4%, which would be $238,800. And if we use Coeur d'Alene, it's 24%, so it's quite a bit higher. The return on investment. So when we're buying things, we're in businesses, we're always talking about what is our ROI? What's our ROI? And it sounds like a fancy term, but all it is what is the return on the cash that I put out? So if I put out $200,000, what did I get back? So in the example we just used, the VA is zero down. So you put no money in. So any money you get as it goes up in value is an infinite return because you didn't put any money in. If you use USDA, it's also an infinite return because you put zero money in. You're making money on the bank's money, right? You didn't put any money of your own in. FHA, you put in a $7,000 down, and your money has 5x'd, which means that you have gone up 523% in 12 months. Very few things that we can do that we can get that kind of return. On a conventional deal, if you would have come in with a 5% down and rode the appreciation, now this is taking the average of Spokane Valley, Post Falls, and Hayden. Okay, this excluded Coeur d'Alene, Coeur d'Alene's a really hot market. So using that average, there was a $36,600 increase in value in that area. So based on the conventional, it was a 366% ROI on your cash. So if you put in $10,000, you more than tripled, 3.5 times more your money in 12 months. That is an incredible return. So I wanted to give that as an example of what you can do with real estate. If you don't own real estate, I strongly recommend that you look at buying real estate. A lot of people are saying, I can't buy anything. I just checked the MLS. There's 77 properties in the Spokane area, not Liberty Lake, not Coeur d'Alene, not any, in the Spokane area. There's currently 77 properties under $200,000. That's real estate, not land, not commercial, not whatever. Real estate, 77 homes. And yes, many of them are pending now. But what I'm trying to allude to is that there are opportunities. If you are very active about it, you can get in there and start picking up some of those deals. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break, which is actually might be just a shy bit less than that, but we're gonna start break right now. Feel free to meet some people, talk a little bit. We probably will cut this break a little bit short. I'm gonna be jumping into that Zoom.